Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. And the Mile High Air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now a man whose father won 2 rings as a Bronco. It's Christian McCaffrey. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Panthers first down, 17 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's McCaffrey. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 44, Mariota throwing deep for Galladay. And it's complete. What a catch at the 7. 36 yards on the play.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Again, McCaffrey. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is third and goal. Mariota to throw it. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Khalil Mack in there for a milestone sack as that moves him past Hall of Famer Michael Strahan, who finished his career with 141.5. And his kick here is good. And the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Check out. 622. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The pass there complete to Sutton. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a second down.
Check out. 390. Mike to 59. Roger John.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Love. And he will find his man on the outside. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Right. He's down right. He's down on the right.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense, to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Now it's Lindsey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Monday.
A shotgun snap for Love. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Hey, wahoo! Hey, check. Mike 50.
From the gun, here's Love. Eluding the pressure right. And the catch good. It's Eifert. 4th down now after a loss of 2. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
How many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter to go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. Let's see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 9. Mariota, and the Broncos get there and take him down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
50 wants the mic. 50 wants the mic. Hey, tight down. There you go. He's crazy. One.
They go play action. Mariota. And this is complete to Moore on the comebacker. A gain of 19 on 3rd and 18, and that'll move the chains.
Let's go.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Mariota on 1st down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Good. Move in. Go, baby. Get that ball. Get that ball. No. One.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Check, 47. Watch a slant. Check 3. One.
Mariota on 3rd and 2. Got his target, Samuel. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find it.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Panthers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Eddie Goldman with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Push him back.
Love. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. Shows his strength at the 50. And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Love. Escaping the pressure right. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Again, Love. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
You didn't want this.
From the red zone now, Locke. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And he's got it as the lead is now 10-6. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're kind of searching for that magic elixir. They're moving the football a little bit, but not with any great consistency.
I love that term you just used, elixir, right?
Old school.
Old school. I love that because you don't want to put too much pressure on your defense as well. All right, if you're kicking field goals, that's great. But your defense has to keep going out there and holding the other team. You're not giving them any cushion to work with, and that gets tougher and tougher as the game goes along. Put the ball in the end zone and get sixes. That's the ambrosia that they're looking for.
Ambrosia, and trying to erase this deficit. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Check back, check back. Hey, check back.
Third and long here for Mariota. Open man is Galladay, complete. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Close. Mike 9. Gotta do better.
Now it's locked. He'll find Lindsey here. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down. On 1st and 10, Locke. Got a man open, it's Sutton. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Hey, Delta. Give me that ball, defense.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Luck now to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
To punt on 4th down, here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard.
At their own 29-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From just shy of midfield, Luck. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Luck now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. To throw is Luck. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing is Luck. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 25-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day offense.
On first down, it's Lindsey trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. Second down.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Throwing on second down, Luck. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos pushed further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Get the ball.
Play action now. Mariota. He's going to walk one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. Curtis Samuel, his second touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Well, I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
At their own 36-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 5 at the 41-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a play fake, and it's Luck. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lindsey. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Luck now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
59 Mike, 59 Mike. Check, 59. Check right. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. Reggie.
On 2nd and inches. Luck trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Following the interception here, Mariota. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
McCaffrey on the counter, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
On 3rd down, Mariota completes it to Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. McCaffrey looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. To throw Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a run with McCaffrey. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a first down and more. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Christian McCaffrey, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are once again going to retake the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Locke. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Lindsey. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Another run by Lindsey. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7.
Brings up 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Locke. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone give the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. This defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now with toss, this is McCaffrey. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now whistles here, and it looks like we've got a Panther that's having some difficulty down there getting up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And this one is right through. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson making his presence felt on the sack. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lindsey.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Brian Burns in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A good pickup there at 22.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
To throw again on 2nd down. Luck. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2.
Hey, we got to seal. We got to seal. We got to seal.
Luck. And he's got his man on the out route. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Come on, baby. Let's see what you got.
Now it's Luck. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Just like that. Just like that.
Now Luck. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now, those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. Luck now to throw. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
Now Luck on 3rd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal.
Hey, Charlie.
They snap it to Luck. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Panthers, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drive